All right, guys, what's up? I'm sorry, I'm not gonna be very active. I can't promise anything. But found this video. It was really cool. Um, Badass Vegan. Thank you for posting this little gem. It gave me a good laugh, and I'm probably gonna laugh again. But yeah, no, this is Arkansas, and it's supposed to be like one of the most racist towns. And we're pretty much gonna be reacting to this guy, this white male, who held up a Black Lives Matter sign, and we're just gonna see. I just noticed the um what do I call it? Billboard sign behind him, whiteprideradio.com. Alt right TV. Oh, imagine. Oh, crap. All right, well, let's get started.
This town in the United States.
Have a little pride in your race, brother. White pride worldwide.
I'm so sorry if it's a little bit loud. Let me turn that down. But white pride worldwide. Yeah, radical, dude.
I wouldn't say after dark, man.
Honestly, dude, you have balls of steel because you could get hospitalized by some guys that want to beat your ass.
I've had several old men come by here, look out the window and tell me, says, you better go tell that nigger to get out of here and shit.
That's... Oh, shit. That's so fucking scary. Imagine, just for... Aren't they the ones who are like, communism is gonna... Later, they're gonna call them like a Marxist or communism or communist, and their idea of communism is like stripping away freedoms that capitalism somehow presents. But isn't like this just cancel culture? Isn't this just like suppression of speech? And later you're gonna see people like threaten him and add on to that point of the guy of what those two people were saying before of like, oh yeah, no, they want you out of here. You'd probably be hospitalized. So it's freaking crazy.
About 10 minutes, I'm gonna be back. You better be fucking gone.
And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And this guy, what a legend.
Okay, come back.
Ah, what a legend. All right. Again, really stupid argument. No one's saying Black Lives Matter more than white lives. The Black Lives Matter movement is making it so there's equality. So we can, defund the police, not completely abolish it, even though there may be some people who do want to abolish it. But I think that, people want more, community policing. I think that makes sense. Community policing. Instead of, just the strict law and order type that was mostly introduced with Nixon and developed throughout the drug war. But that definitely favored white lives. Like, what about white lives? I'm sorry. Blacks and whites consume marijuana at similar rates, but for some reason, blacks are disproportionately arrested for it. So, yeah, these are just like people who don't understand the message, and I know it might sound, effed up, but they don't really have the education or the social knowledge to know what Black Lives Matter is really about.
We matter too. You're a white man. White lives matter.
Dumbass motherfucker, you dumb shit.
Are you a Marxist? Communist.
I'm sorry, their argument is so stupid. Excuse me. Marxist. They called him a racist. At no point does his sign say or even imply that white lives are less than black lives. No point. There's at no point does the sign say or does he say black lives are more valuable than white lives. There's been so much, 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 you know, racial bias that's been helping white men and women to achieve, well, mostly white men, but to be able to achieve powerful positions, uh, in order to gain more economic power, political power, and yeah. But really, like, I forgot my original point. It's just, it's ridiculous. And I find it funny that they're calling him a communist. Isn't a communist someone who wants to take away people's rights? What rights does Black Lives Matter take away from white folk? The most I've seen, um, like, of black people or Black Lives Matter, uh, the movement itself, ask all it does is ask white people, "Hey, you have white privilege. Can you please help us?" Because the Black Lives Matter movement and all the leaders understand that you must have those in higher power to help you out. I've been recently, I've recently been watching, um, Bolivar. It's on Netflix, and it's supposed to go over the life of Simon Bolivar, this, who is a great, South American liberator who was born in Venezuela, and he had this, and I'm not sure how much of this is true, but I get the general grasp, and I completely agree with it. So when he was this, like, youngster, I don't know how old he was, maybe 13. He had this teacher. They call him the professor, or yeah, and he was, conspiring against the kingdom of Spain. That's how old. This is how long ago we're talking about. And he knew it was crucial to be educating children, because he was, educating the Creoles, meaning, and if I remember correctly, those are the Spanish but born in the Americas. So they are below, um, just Spaniards born in Spain, but they weren't seen as highly, but they were pretty high. And so you had to, like, somehow, he understood that he needed to educate those children, in order to make some sort of social and cultural difference, um, or change, in order to help make their, or build a free Venezuela, in order to liberate and free. So I guess what I'm going to end up saying is we need to make sure that we all stay educated, and we need to understand that if we ask, or if we try to educate those in power, those who have more privilege than us, economically, socially, politically, it's because it's about time for change, and we need change, and we need it right now. That's what Black Lives Matter, or the Black Lives Matter movement, is asking. It's not asking step down, it's asking you to step up if you're privileged. So, sorry, I don't want to take too much time.
Domestic terrorists.
Why don't you take it to Chicago or New York and hold it up where they're shooting each other?
Explain to me why coon fly patties.
Hell, they are. Do a real fucking job. I'm Jesus. Get your ass out of town. That shit don't make shit here.
Hey, all lives matter, not just black.
You're Caucasian.
You're white.
You look like a white guy holding a black matter. What's the deal with that? Not just saying you're a white boy carrying that stupid sign.
You're white, aren't you? Oh, boy. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, you saying something too?
Yes, sir.
I am good.
Because I'm tired of seeing this right here is the biggest hoax there ever was.
It's just the next thing to ask.
Oh. The next thing to ISIS. Next thing to ISIS. Why is it the next thing to ISIS? I feel like I'm trying to picture that guy right in front of me, and I'm asking him. And it'd just be a bullshit response. It really would. Like, and these guys are not even like too patriotic, because I can't imagine them criticizing America for 1 second. Why do we ever criticize America for almost, you know what, practically terrorizing Latin America, for practically terrorizing the Middle East? Now, I'm not going to speak too much on the Middle East because I've never, or not never, but I don't feel educated enough to really make a position on it, but I just know that we shouldn't be there right now. But let's talk about Latin America. The history that we have there, staging coups, militarily, changing their presidents through armed forces, like we did in Chile. And well, I don't remember how long ago it was, but in Chile, when we put Pinochet in there. How about more recently in Bolivia, when we had another military coup, and we replaced Evo Morales with that one right winger who you can already tell she's a fascist. Like, sorry. What about still currently sanctioning Venezuela? Sanctioning them, and sanctioning like cargoes, I'm sorry, I get confused, because you know, like the English language, cargoes are for ships, but shipments are delivered by cars. That's always been confusing, but excuse me. So like when they sanctioned that cargo from Iran, and we also sanctioned Iran, so I guess I could speak about it a little bit. We are preventing the Iranian people from getting the medicine that they need. They don't really get the masks that they need or the ventilators that they need, and that is an act of war. That is an act of terror. That is what we're doing in Latin America and the Middle East, because we still have the US embargo hurting the economy of Venezuela and Cuba. But we won't even but these people won't even admit it, because they have like this false idea that America's the perfect country. Listen, I would like to say that I'm more patriotic than them. I think if you're listening to this video, I believe you're more patriotic than them, because you're going to be someone who's willing to criticize America and want there to be a better America, where an America that cares not just about the Americans' happiness, but happiness worldwide. Or at least not committing an act of terror on countries that usually and almost always have brown people, or a race that's not white. Now we can discuss, because I know it's Latin America and there's a confusing discussion about race over there. But yeah, there's my point. This guy's not going to criticize America. And that's what Black Lives Matter is doing. They're criticizing America to make a better America. If you have a child and their grades are screwing up, you criticize them because they may be doing things with the wrong method. And if you don't ever help them out, then that's kind of your fault. The government has done nothing but hurt the Black community and Latino community. But I really want to focus on the Black community, because they have been hurt in an unimaginable level. If Ben Shapiro is going to continue with the stupid argument of, you know what, let's actually take that argument into account. It has nothing to do with race and everything to do with culture. Okay, what made Black culture? Was it the 400 years of slavery? Was it Jim Crow? Was it redlining? Was it stripping away an entire generation of Black leadership? Was it bringing in the drug war and disproportionately having it affect the Black community more than the white community? Is it stop and frisk? Is it the fact that if you have a white sounding name, you're more likely to get picked for the job rather than if you had a black sounding name? There are so many factors that play into this. And I believe that during the civil rights movement, in the time of MLK and Malcolm X, if they weren't assassinated, if they weren't character assassinated, maybe the black community would be in a better place than it is right now. It definitely would be. But no, we keep putting them in positions where they can be the bad guy, and we don't ever blame ourselves because we think we are the good guys. And I'm Mexican, but I realize my skin is white as hell. And I'm kind of happy for it because then I get to call out other white people. But then again, I'm never gonna abandon more of my native heritage because I pride myself on that. I pride on myself for the history behind it. And I know I'm surfing away from this original topic. But the point is, criticism is okay. Criticism helps build growth. If criticism because it sounds like they're only going to criticize the black community. They're never going to say they're never going to criticize the United States for not doing what they should have. They're never going to criticize the United States for terrorizing the Middle East and Latin America. They're never going to criticize the United States for the drug war and how much of a mess that was. All they're going to criticize is illegals coming into the country. They're rapists, but some of them are good people, and black on black crime. That's all they want to criticize. And it's a really screwed up move. And it speaks volumes about white privilege.
It is.
Yeah, black lives do matter, but what about ours, man?
Apparently, black people's lives matter more than us.
Apparently.
You know, the Irish have...
Hey, Mike, how's your day going? Well,
How can you say, fuck Black Lives Matter, and I have black friends? Do you see the contradiction? If you have black friends, you should probably be supporting their movement. And if they're black conservatives, I struggle to see what a black person could be gaining being against Black Lives Matter. If it's just strictly against the rioting, good job, but if you're not for the protesting, then you're just feeding into like a white supremacist agenda. That's simply it. Like the conversation just ends there. I don't know how else you could like try to defend that.
they put out this statement.
I would ask you to leave. Exactly what I'm saying is exactly what they would.
According to this, that's not true. Let's see what this says. Black Lives Matter. It is all our responsibilities to embrace the fact that what we say and what we do, there is no way to live our values if we don't. Blah 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 blah. So Walmart is supposed to be in support of Black Lives Matter, or of BLM. I feel really bad for this guy. At least this ends on a touchy note, and I'm really happy about it.
Ask me to do.
Yeah, ignore the haters. You're being peaceful. What you're doing is good. Just a friendly reminder. Don't give up. And that really touches me because this guy, he's gotten threats. He's gotten all those FUs. I doubt this guy's even a Marxist, but he's been called things that he's not. This is inappropriate cancel culture. This is what this is. And no, this guy just deserves it's tough because some people say we shouldn't reward or praise people for doing normal things, like a white friend protesting for Black Lives Matter, but I face no consequences. I live in Washington, all right? Um, a little bit closer to Seattle, so this is a more liberal, more progressive area. This guy, he did this in Arkansas. Arkansas. He did this in Arkansas. So I want to praise him a little bit. I think he deserves respect for doing what's harder than what I'm doing right now. Because I can still face backlash, but it's not as bad as this. And even if I did face all that backlash, I doubt it would be in over just like a few hours. Let's just say this guy held the sign for like 2 or 3 hours. I would get probably some of those comments not even in 3 months. Not even all of those comments all those comments I wouldn't probably even get in 3 months. So this guy did good. I think the point of a protest should be changing people's minds and changing their souls. But sometimes the point of a protest can be just to make a little bit of noise, to agitate people a little bit, to somehow try to find a way to make them pay attention. And I believe this guy at least completed that part of the mission. And it's excellent. So anyways, I'm going to be trying to post a little bit more soon, hopefully. I'll try my best. Maybe some more Michael Knows stuff. Maybe some Ben Shapiro stuff. Who knows? I don't know. I could get destroyed. But yeah, no. If you have any video ideas, please put them in the comment section below. Or yeah, if you're a friend that watches, you can just DM me. But yeah. Hope to make another video soon. Have a great rest of your day.